vortex. Something really bothers me about the internet. What doesn't bother me about the internet? It's the fact that people think that they know who you are. All because they watch videos. And it's way worse on a social network than anywhere else. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do it. Because it's bad enough vlogging. So, you know, say you're on Twitter and you put out a tweet and it riles a lot of people up. And then people completely misinterpret what you meant. Because there's no context with Twitter. And I really believe that Twitter was put into this world in order to completely annihilate context. And so the kinds of people that enjoy Twitter or say that Twitter's a good thing for society are people that are fine with the fact that context has been completely destroyed. So they can lie to themselves and say, oh, these conversations are happening all because of me. What conversations, dude? People can't have meaningful conversations on a social network. I've seen it. I've seen it. All that people do is fight, dude. All that people do is fight and one-up each other. That's not a fucking conversation. You patting yourself on the back because you think you made a point? You think you made a point that most people don't even understand? You know? It's like, oh, so the people that get you, get you. Well, what credit is that to you, you know? But I just hate it. I hate it so much. Like, it's not communication. It's the opposite of communication. But my original point was that you don't know somebody just because you watch their videos or like you listen to somebody's music and you think you understand like why they wrote a particular song. I mean, here's the thing, I do it too, don't feel bad, okay? I'm just trying to make you more aware of that shit. But it's fucked up. You know, like, I listen to a lot of music. And I can fool myself into thinking that I know what compelled the songwriter to write that particular song. And I don't know. A lot of the time, they don't know either. They think that they're writing it about somebody else, but they're really writing it about themselves. And I think that that's the problem with people in general, is that a lot of the criticism that we have for other people is really criticism that we want to give to ourselves, but it hurts too much, and so it's just easier to project it. And as aware of things as I am, that doesn't mean that I'm aware of everything. So, you know, I don't think I'm perfect or nothing. I think I'm one of the most imperfect people you'll ever meet. But I guess that's why Jesus Christ means so much to me. That sacrifice. I just understand it. I really, really understand it. But, you know, everybody has a deeper understanding of things the older that they get. And I just look at people's content, you know, like, and, you know, some of the stuff that people put out there that I think is ridiculous. like a part of me like just wants to quit. A part of me wants to stop doing YouTube and Rumble and all of it. And don't worry, I'm not going to, okay? I'm not making suicidal threats, alright? But it's just like I smell my own bullshit. And in certain ways, I know that I'm very similar to like the people I complain about. It's just I use a different medium to complain. And I like to think it's artistic. I'd like to think it's more creative than like doing a podcast. You know? You know, somebody said, well, you're essentially doing a podcast. I mean, yes and no. Like, yeah, I talk a lot. But I mean, what am I sitting in front of a microphone, like interviewing people? I mean, that's so boring to me. And I think what's boring about it is the fact that, like, it's just everybody's doing that. It's not really a stream of consciousness. Like, this is more like I don't pick a topic. I try to, but I can't succeed. My brain won't allow me to succeed. But I just get bored watching podcasts. Like, I've tried. It's like I can get through maybe like 20 minutes. And then I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go make something. You know, and I think that that's what bothers me so much about this whole mass consumer culture. It's that people aren't making things. Like, they'd rather watch stuff that other people make. And so that's my biggest problem with people that criticize me, is that, like, they're not really putting themselves out there. You know, definitely not like I am, motherfucker. Yeah, you try making 4,000 fucking videos and not getting paid for any of that shit. You know? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm on the interstate. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Well, I have a bunch of cucumbers. Well, I have 2 cucumbers. I don't have a bunch of them. I have 2. But yeah, I know you like tzatziki sauce. Okay, well, I'll probably see you in like 7 minutes. Bye-bye. See, Ronita is the only person that I, like, keep up with. Like, she called me yesterday because she said that she had a panic attack about her health insurance. I was like, me too! We're very connected. But I talked to her for like 2 hours, okay? So it's not like I'm totally isolating myself. You know, if I'm getting out there and like doing stand-up, I think people are like concerned about me because they think I'm self-destructing or some shit. It's so frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating because you could never, ever, ever, motherfucking ever know what it's like to be somebody else. Unless you want to perform like a being John Malkovich type of experiment, alright? Like, people don't know. Like, just because you watch somebody's content or you listen to somebody's opinions, you agree with them, or, you know, you look up everything about a person and you figure out how they grow up, and you figure out, you know, things that happened to them and how they dealt with it. I mean, I let it all hang out. I know that I do. But that still doesn't mean that you know me or that you know what it's like to be me. Okay? Like, just because, like, I relate to certain people doesn't mean that I'm those people. I'm still Amy Gross, motherfucker. And so, it's very dangerous, the internet. Because, though I will say that art is like a way to reach out to people, and it's therapeutic. You know, so it's therapeutic for me, and it's therapeutic for the people watching it or listening to it. Because they relate to it. So they can understand somewhat of my perspective. But they're still not me! So, it's like I was talking to somebody at work today about, you know, just being alone. And he asked me, he was like, so you just push everybody away? Yes! Yes, I do. And the people that understand that are people that are patient with me, that give me space. People that don't make demands. I mean, Ronit makes demands, but they're Jewy demands, okay? All Jews make demands. That's a stereotype for a reason. Now, and she'd agree, okay? She would wholeheartedly agree with that statement. So I guess we're going over to Brad Covington's house. I'm actually really excited about this because I haven't seen him in a while. He has a girlfriend now. So that's good. I hope it works out. You see, I want other people to find happiness. I want other people to have sexual intercourse and make babies and do all the stuff that I'm not going to do, okay? Because it's so much work for like what teeny tiny amount of, you know, positive feedback that you get, or, you know, like, I mean, it's just not worth it to me. But that's also because I'm just in a different headspace than most people. And I've always been in that headspace. Like, I remember when I was really young, and I was thinking, like, I don't know how people, like, live with somebody and they can stand each other. Like, I don't get that. Because I feel like the reason why relationships don't work out and marriages fall apart, and if they don't completely fall apart, then it's like, and I see this with my parents, it just seems like people are just not very happy, you know, in their marriage. But they're sticking it out because they believe in that commitment. And they believe in, you know, it's a virtue for them. It's a virtue for them to, you know, put up with that person. But it seems like with mental illness especially, you know, because that shit gets worse as you get older. And so, you know, the part of me that just wants to be alone and retreat, the part of me that wants to say fuck all and just, you know, do my little, you know, rain dance or whatever the fuck. It's like, it's like that part of me is just getting louder and louder and louder. And so when I was younger and I like really earnestly trying to be in a relationship, and, you know, I fell in love and I had sex, it's like the longer I was with that person, the more I wanted to be by myself. And I felt really bad about it because it's like the dude that I was with was just proving that he was way more dependent on me than I was on him. And I felt guilty because I didn't want to fuck him. And I felt guilty because I didn't want to spend time with him. And I felt guilty because it was like, all we could do together is just watch TV, you know? And so it's like, I understood why people get hooked on television when they're in a shitty relationship. And so it makes perfect sense to me why America is what America is, because it's just, people aren't happy. And rather than figure out for themselves like what would make them happy, and which I believe would be, you know, creating things, having hobbies, it's like they look to another person to satisfy them, and it doesn't work. So how am I gonna get over it? I don't know, baby. It's never been this backed up before. It's also like 5 o'clock, dude. Or, well, what time is it? It's past 5. It's like 5:30. It's 5:40. Shit. Oh, I gotta get over it. You think they're gonna let you? I might be able to get over here. I might. Probably not. Alright, never mind. Never mind. You might be able to get right now. Right now. Right now. Do it! Yay, we're in the right lane. Yay. No, but I don't know. I was thinking about this in relation to like happiness. Like, how do you define happiness? Like somebody told me recently, you deserve to be happy. What the fuck does that mean? First of all, I don't agree with you. I don't deserve anything. Except Hades, all right? I really believe that. I really, really believe that. You know, most people do. In fact, all people, really. Because people, for the most part, aren't good. Like, we're very, very selfish and self-centered and egotistical. And, yeah, I'm speaking for myself. Totally. But like, I don't understand why people think that they deserve anything. I think that's very American, you know? Like that's very like entitled, you know? Go. Are you gonna switch lanes? Go on. Like you're entitled to happiness. You're entitled to being satisfied. I mean, I'm not saying that like, oh, I deserve to be miserable, but like, I don't think that I'm a miserable person. I think that like, sometimes I'm really happy because I make myself happy, and other times I'm sad. And I'm sad because of the state of the world. I'm sad because things are fucked up. And I think that empathy is a good thing, and very few people have it. And so if you're angry or you're despairing over like how fucked up everything is in the world, that's okay. I mean, Jesus wept, Paul wept, Peter wept. Like anybody that has any human decency will naturally weep about how bad things are, dude. And I'm really not crying about me. I used to. I mean, people that are like knee deep in the victim mentality, they will find themselves lamenting over, you know, how hard their life is, or how bad they've got it. But if they had empathy and they thought, you know, there's somebody else out there that's got it way worse, then they'll be grateful for whatever they have. And so it kind of irks me that like people think, oh, I'm not in a position of like gratitude or whatever, all because I complain about the way that the world is, you know? I think that it's a bold-faced lie to just like ignore the suffering that occurs in this world. Also, you can like maintain your little happiness, your little bubble. I just think that's bullshit, you know? And I think one of the reasons why so many people get on drugs, like, you know, bad drugs that aren't even fun, drugs that don't even work, the dummy drugs, as Doug Stanhope would call them. So like, you know, Prozac and Lexapro and all that shit, antidepressants. The reason why people get on that stuff is because they think that there's something wrong with them if they're emotional. And that's just silly. You know, I feel like I'm a lot more accepting of like the human condition and what life actually is all about. And sometimes it's not fun. And I don't think that other people can lighten the load. I feel like that's one of the biggest problems, is that people keep expecting that. And that's why they're not satisfied in their relationships. But like, I love my friends. I love my family. I love my coworkers that are like my second family. They annoy me, they piss me off sometimes, but like I legit love them and appreciate them. I got a church family. I got a comedy family. You know, it's like there's so many things that I really appreciate, but you know, oh well, I don't want to have sex and I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. Well, therefore my life is meaningless and I need to be validated by other people. That, oh my goodness, that just pisses me all the way off. Like, I don't care if that's your thought process. If that's the way that you live your life, that's fine. But for you to like superimpose that onto other people is wrong, dude. It's just like people that they want to say that if you like date somebody outside your race, you're fucking degenerate. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But for you to tell other people that they're not allowed to do that, or they're a piece of shit if they do that, like, that is most definitely racist, okay? And it's just the arrogance of society, thinking that they can just tell other people what to do. It's like, I got my opinions, and they're real strong opinions. I know they're real strong opinions. The stench is overpowering. That's why people leave my channel. That's why people walk out of my sets, okay? But I don't go up to people and yell at them for using their smartphone. You know, I get frustrated, but I have no right to tell other people like what they can and cannot do. I mean, Ronit is like so fucking honest about, you know, like her sexual needs. Like, I mean, she gets on stage and talks about her pussy. Like, she's the complete opposite. Like, her stage presence is the opposite of mine in that regard. Like, her subject matter is like so raunchy. But you know, I still love her. She's still my best friend, even though she does stuff that I disagree with. And I don't tell her, you know, oh well, you shouldn't fornicate, Ronit. I mean, she's not gonna listen to me anyway, and I know that. But see, that's the thing. Like, I understand human nature, in that people are a lot less likely to listen to you if you keep hounding them. And if they do listen to you, it's only because you're hounding them. It's not because they actually agree with you or they actually want what you tell them they're supposed to want. And like I said, I'm just so frustrated. It's like my own fans, like they don't even understand me. They want to pretend that they do, but they really don't. But I think I am like a lot more like a dude. Because I remember like feeling this way for a very long time. You know, like being attracted to women, but knowing that I could never be in a relationship with them. Because like, I can't even be in a relationship with a man. Because they're too needy, you know? So it's like if I was with a woman, she'd have to be like me and like really, really masculine. But what I'm attracted to about women is their femininity. And I can't fault women for the fact that they're needy and like codependent or whatever, because that's literally how they're created. So I think I have like the soul of a man or some shit. That doesn't mean that I am a man though. It just means that my life is going to be extremely frustrating.